All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are going deep on something pretty unexpected. Um, Kim Kardashian's Bachelorette prank,
Oh, yeah?
when she totally had her family convinced she was going to be on the show.
Right.
We're going to break down, like, how she pulled it off,
Yeah, it was brilliant.
like, what made it work so well.
Oh, it was. And you're right. Someone actually analyzed this whole thing
Oh, wow.
in an academic paper,
No way.
literally titled Kim Kardashian's Prank on the Kardashians.
I love that they just, like, went for it with
Yeah.
that title.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like, why would academics even, like,
Right.
look at this?
So believe it or not,
Okay.
this prank is like a gold mine
Okay.
for understanding communication and media,
Interesting.
especially like in this whole world of reality TV and social media.
Okay, so remind me kind of like the basics of this prank.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've kept up with the Kardashians.
Right.
Or the Kardashians, like they call it now.
Yeah, they did switch it up a little bit.
Yep. So, like, they have this like long-running reality show.
Mm-hmm.
First it was on cable, now it's on Hulu.
Right.
And, the premise of The Bachelorette is
Yeah.
this one woman's dating all these guys
Yeah, to find the one.
to try to find the one.
Yeah.
And so I think you're remembering when Kim announced to her family she was going to be
Yeah.
the next Bachelorette.
Yes.
She drops this bombshell.
Yeah.
Family's totally shocked.
Yeah.
And then she even has this like confirmation
Oh.
from like a Disney executive.
Right, because Disney owns ABC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
who's like, the ultimate moomudger,
Right.
starts making calls.
Wait, so Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
like the queen of knowing everything about her kids,
Yeah.
was actually in the dark on this.
That's what's so fascinating about it.
Wow.
So the paper that we're looking at uses this whole prank
Okay.
to explain this guy, Irving Goffman,
Okay.
and his theories about performance
Okay.
and working consensus.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So Goffman basically says that we're all putting on these like different roles in our lives. Like we're presenting a certain image to the world.
So like actors on a stage.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so the Kardashians, they also have these carefully crafted images, right? Like the businesswoman, the momager, the supermodel.
Right.
All of that. But Kim going on The Bachelorette,
That
clashes with her whole image.
completely.
Right. That just doesn't
Yeah.
fit the
Yeah.
image we have of her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it was so shocking.
Exactly.
Because it just didn't make sense.
Yeah. And that's where the working consensus comes in.
Sure.
So, the Kardashian-Jenner family, they're kind of like this well-oiled machine, right?
Mhm.
Everyone plays their part.
Hmm.
But this prank, like, threw them off balance
Totally.
because it totally disrupted, like, the unspoken agreement
Yeah.
about, like, who they are in the public eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like their persona.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when you're hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
And, everyone has like their usual roles in the group.
Right.
You got like the funny one, the planner, the voice of reason.
Totally, yeah.
But then one day, someone acts completely out of character.
Right.
And it's like, whoa!
Yeah, it throws everyone off.
It throws everyone off.
Because it's not how.
Yeah, because it breaks the working consensus
Yeah.
of like how the group functions.
Yeah, it's not the agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
So same with the Kardashians.
Okay.
Kim's prank created this moment of like genuine surprise
Yeah.
and conflict.
Yeah.
Because it went against like their usual dynamic.
Yeah. And that's reality TV gold.
Exactly.
Right there.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
And, this also makes me think about how the prank wasn't just about messing with her family.
Right.
It was actually a brilliant way to get people talking about the Kardashians
Yeah.
and the Bachelorette.
Yeah, like it was kind of marketing genius.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
And the paper brings in this guy, Raymond Williams,
Okay.
and his ideas about media and medium
Yeah.
to kind of explain this.
Okay.
So think of it this way.
Okay.
Media is like the platform.
Okay.
So in this case, it's the Kardashians, the show.
Okay.
The medium is the person conveying the message.
Okay.
So that would be Kim.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So to put it in like terms I use every day, the show is like my Instagram feed.
Okay.
And Kim's prank is the post that like gets everyone talking.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And so the paper's pointing out how Kim like cleverly used the platform of her show
Yeah.
to promote The Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one little prank
Yeah.
created all this buzz
Random district.
and discussion across all these like outlets.
Yeah.
From social media to entertainment news sites.
It's kind of genius.
It was a really smart move.
It really was.
And it's a perfect example of how media can be used for way more than just entertainment. It could be like a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
To shape how people think about things and promote other stuff.
Totally. And speaking of getting people talking, I remember this prank was like all over the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was sharing articles, making memes, debating whether it was real or not. The paper mentions this guy, Henry Jenkins, and participatory culture. What exactly does that mean?
So Jenkins is saying that now in like the digital age, audiences aren't just passively watching anymore. We're actually like participating. Creating content. Shaping narratives.
Interesting.
Think about how you use social media. You're not just scrolling.
Right.
You're liking, commenting, sharing. You're part of the conversation.
Totally.
You know? So Kim's prank becomes this perfect example. Because it wasn't just something we like watched on TV.
Right.
We were all talking about it online. Spreading the word and basically turning it into like a viral sensation.
So it's like convergence culture is the environment.
Yeah, I got that.
Where this participatory culture can thrive.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's another concept that Jenkins talks about is convergence culture.
Okay. Break that down for me. What is convergence culture and how did this prank fit into it?
Okay, so convergence culture is all about how content flows across these different platforms.
Okay.
Like TV, social media, streaming services.
Okay.
All of it.
Yeah.
You name it. So Kim's prank was discussed on Twitter just as much as it was on Hulu.
Right.
Like blurring the lines between traditional and digital media.
Totally.
It's like how you can watch a show on Netflix and then hop on Twitter to see what everyone's saying about it.
Right. Yeah, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
And the paper's arguing that this convergence is like a key factor. In why the prank was so successful.
Okay.
It wasn't just confined to like one platform. It was everywhere.
Right.
It kept the conversation going and reached a much wider audience.
So we're seeing how a prank that like seemed pretty simple on the surface actually reveals this like complex web of communication and media manipulation and audience engagement.
It's all intertwined.
It's like peeling back the layers of a Kardashian-approved onion.
Exactly.
All right.
And it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
We've got a lot more to unpack about like what this prank tells us. About the power dynamics that play in the media and how we as viewers fit into all of this.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've kind of laid the groundwork, you know, with Goffman, Williams, and Jenkins.
Right.
But I'm curious, like, what does this actually mean? You know, how does this seemingly harmless prank like connect to this bigger picture of like media and how it works?
Well, I think if we zoom out and look at the power dynamics here, it shows how someone like Kim, as the, you know, the medium, can use a huge platform like the Kardashians to like shape what people are thinking.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you put it that way.
It is.
She basically pulled off this like PR stunt disguised as a family joke. And we all fell for it.
And it totally worked.
I
mean, not only did it get everyone talking about the Kardashians, but it also promoted the Bachelorette.
Right.
Like, this shows how reality TV isn't just about entertainment. It's also like a powerful marketing tool.
Right. So it's like this carefully choreographed dance where Kim's leading the way and the audience, you know, including me, are kind of like following along. Right. But it makes me wonder, like, how much of what we see on TV or online is actually genuine and how much is just like performance for the cameras?
That's the million-dollar question. Right? So the paper actually uses this term information game to describe this whole dynamic.
Interesting.
It's like the performers like Kim and the media platforms are in this like constant back and forth trying to shape public opinion.
Wow. Information game. That sounds intense.
It is.
So are you saying that like we're all players in this game,
Hold on.
whether we realize it or not?
We're consuming information. We're sharing it. We're contributing to the overall narrative. Think about how many times you've seen a headline on social media. And immediately reshared it. Without even like reading the article.
All the time.
Right? You're part of the game.
Yeah, you're right. It's scary how easy it is to get caught up in that. But this whole participatory culture thing, like, it can't be all bad, right?
No, you're right. It's like a double-edged sword. On a one hand, it gives us this power to like amplify voices and challenge narratives that we don't agree with.
Right.
But it also makes us more vulnerable to manipulation.
Okay.
Especially when we're being bombarded with all these like carefully crafted messages.
That are designed to like push our buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do we stay ahead of the game?
Right.
It feels like we're constantly being like bombarded with information.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know what's real and what's just a performance.
That's why it's so important to become more media literate.
Okay.
The more you understand like how these performances work, the more you can question the motives behind them.
Okay.
So the next time you see a reality show, a viral video, or even like a sponsored post on Instagram, ask yourself like who benefits from this information?
Okay.
What are they trying to get me to believe?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's like learning to read between the lines and not just taking everything at face value.
Exactly.
But let's be real. The Kardashians are masters of this information game.
Oh, yeah.
They've built an empire out of turning their lives into this like carefully curated product.
Totally. And their success is undeniable.
Yeah.
They've used this platform to build businesses, launch careers, and like influence trends all over the world.
Yeah.
But, you know, as you said earlier, even their most like seemingly authentic moments
can be part of like a larger strategy.
So what are we supposed to do? Become cynical and distrust everything?
Not necessarily. The goal isn't to distrust all media.
Okay.
It's about engaging with it in a more like critical and thoughtful way.
Yeah.
Recognizing that there's always more than meets the eye.
Okay.
And be willing to dig a little deeper to understand like the messages.
Yeah.
And the motivations behind it all.
I like that critical engagement.
Yeah.
So instead of just like mindlessly scrolling or watching, we should be actively thinking about what we're consuming.
Exactly.
And why it's being presented to us in a certain way.
This deep dive has shown us that even something as silly as a Kardashian prank can be a powerful lesson in how media operates. We've explored Goffman's theories of performance and working consensus, Williams's concepts of like media and medium, Jenkins's ideas about participatory and convergence culture, and this idea of the information game.
Wow, we covered a lot. But the big question is, what does this all mean for us?
Right.
Like the viewers.
Yeah.
How can we apply these insights to our own lives and navigate this increasingly complex media world?
Yeah, I'm eager to hear like your thoughts on that.
Okay.
Let's dive into those final takeaways. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our, deep dive into this whole Kim Kardashian Bachelorette prank thing.
Right.
We've, analyzed the prank itself, unpacked some, pretty heavy-duty theories.
Yeah.
And we even, explored this idea of this information game that we're all playing. But now I'm ready for, like, the big takeaway. What does this all mean for me, the listener? Like, how do I actually use these insights in my own life?
That's the crucial question, right?
Yeah.
And, the paper doesn't really give us these, like, easy answers.
Okay.
But it gives us a whole new lens for understanding this crazy media world that we live in. It's like getting a behind-the-scenes pass to see how the magic is made.
Oh, I like that.
And how that magic can sometimes be used to manipulate us.
Yeah, it's kind of like realizing the magician's secret.
Yeah.
The tricks are still entertaining, but you see them in a whole new light.
Exactly.
Once you know how they work.
We're bombarded with these messages every day.
Yeah.
Everywhere we look, on TV, online, even walking down the street.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's easy to just kind of passively absorb all of it.
Right.
Without, like, stopping to think about, like, where it's all coming from.
Right.
And, what the center's agenda might be.
And what this deep dive has shown me is that, even something as silly as a Kardashian prank can be like a masterclass in media manipulation.
You really can.
It's not just about entertainment.
Right.
It's about, carefully crafting this narrative that gets people talking and ultimately benefits the people behind it.
Kim's performance, using the reality show as this platform, the way traditional media and digital media like blend together, it was all orchestrated to create this spectacle.
Yeah.
And we were all swept up in it.
And we all played our part, sharing articles, discussing it online, adding fuel to the fire.
Exactly.
It makes you realize how much power we actually have as an audience, but also how easily we can be manipulated if we're not paying attention.
So this isn't about, becoming a cynic and distrusting everyone.
Okay.
It's about becoming more media literate.
Yeah.
The more you understand how media works, the better equipped you are to like navigate it.
Okay.
See through the smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And make these more like informed decisions.
I feel like instead of just scrolling mindlessly through my feed,
right,
or binge watching whatever's trending, I need to be more aware of what I'm consuming.
Yes.
And why it's being presented to me in a certain way.
Precisely.
Okay.
Start by asking yourself those like critical questions we talked about before. Who benefits from this information being presented this way? What are they trying to get me to believe or to do?
It's like that saying, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Right.
But now I realize it's not just the internet.
Exactly.
It's all media.
And it's not about like rejecting media altogether.
Right.
It's about engaging with it.
Okay.
In a more conscious and critical way.
Yeah.
Remember, the media that we consume
Yeah.
is often a carefully constructed reality.
Right.
Designed to entertain, inform, and yes, even sometimes manipulate us.
So the next time I'm, watching a reality show or reading a news article or scrolling through social media, I'm going to try to, channel my inner Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
Not to pull a prank,
Right.
but to think about the performance, the platform, the message, and who's ultimately benefiting from it all.
That's a great takeaway.
Okay, cool.
By understanding these dynamics,
Yeah.
you become a more like discerning viewer, less susceptible to manipulation, and you're more empowered to make these informed decisions about the information you consume.
This deep dive has honestly been a bit of an eye-opener.
Yeah.
It's made me realize that there's so much more going on beneath the surface of the media we consume every day.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
The more you learn about how media works, the more fascinating and complex it becomes.
We've come a long way from a simple Kardashian prank, haven't we?
We have.
We've explored theories, unpacked concepts, and hopefully given you, the listener, some tools to navigate this, media landscape.
Exactly. And with that, we'll leave you with this one final thought-provoking question to ponder.
Okay, hit me.
How does understanding these concepts change the way you view not just reality TV and celebrity culture, but also your own online interactions, the news you consume, and the messages that you encounter every single day?
That's a great question to leave us with. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.